Hello friends, welcome once again to our next CKEditor tutorial. In this video we'll see how we can install Bootstrap and use it in our application. Remember, in our last video we looked at how we can install our React application and set it up, and we looked at the structure, the project structure of our React application. So in this video, let's go ahead and look at how we can create our contact us form. So we'll start by installing our Bootstrap package in our application. We'll do so by running npm install bootstrap. Good. So when this command will run, it will install Bootstrap on our PC. We'll go ahead and import it. Remember, app.js component is the main component in React.js that acts as a container for other components in React application. So it wraps each and every component that we create in React, as we will see in the video. That's why we import any style that we create for any component. We import it once in app.js component file. Okay, having said that, so let's import our Bootstrap. Import Bootstrap CSS, then bootstrap.min.css. So having imported our Bootstrap into our application, we'll save, and then we'll go ahead and create our form. So we start by creating a div, a container, give the class name, and then as a container define another div and give it a class name of wrapper, which is going to wrap our form. Good. So create our form, and in our form we'll have a class name of form control. All these are Bootstrap class names that we define on our form elements. So we'll have form group, and then we'll have another div inside here, and then this div will have a class name. This div is going to wrap our content, our input content, so it will be of class name form group, and then we'll have a label which will be name. Then this one will have an input of type text. Placeholder will be enter name, and then we'll have a class also form control. Good. So we end our first input, then we'll copy this and then duplicate it 3 times. So this one will be email, and then we'll have an input of email here. We'll go ahead and close that. So let's save and run our application into the browser. npm start, and this will launch our application into the browser. Good. So this is our form that we have, but remember, we don't have a title on our form. Let's go back to our code. So after putting our button, then let's add in our title of our form. So we'll create an h1 tag. Good, save, and then let's go check our browser and see we have our beautiful form. So here we have successfully created our bootstrap form using package that we installed, and in our next part of this video we're going to see how we can create components and routes in our application. Okay, so now since we are using our main app.js, and remember we say that app.js acts as a container for other components in React.js. So for us to be able to have other components in React, we need to get rid of our code in the main app component and then create another component which will have to paste in our code, Okay, so we'll create a folder in our source directory and we'll name it component. Have another folder which will be contact component, and inside our contact component we'll have a file which will be contact.js file. Good. So inside here we'll go ahead and then import React from React, and then we'll export and inside here we'll have a render method. We'll return our elements which we are going to paste in here. So we'll go ahead, cut all this code from our main component and then save, come to our contact component and then paste this code inside here. Good, so we have successfully created our component and then moved the code from our main app.js component and pasted it into our contactors component. So but for us to be able to access this contact component, we'll need to route to it. So how do we route in React.js? We use a package known as React Router DOM. It's a package which contains most of the routing components in React. So this will enable us to do most of the routings in our application. So for us to be able to make routings in our application, we need to install it. So we'll do so by saying npm install React Router DOM. So after that you click enter and the package will automatically install. We'll go ahead and import it in our main app.js component. So we'll do so by saying import from browser router, and we'll import that as router, and also we'll have route. So after defining that, we'll have to create our router here, and this will wrap all the components, all our routing components will be wrapped under the browser router which we have imported as router. So we'll say route which will be of exact path. It is a single component that we are using, so we'll just by default navigate to it. Okay, and this one will have to define our component which will be contactors component. Good. After that we close our route and save. So let's go back into our browser and see what we have. So we have successfully created a component in React, and also routed to it. So in the next part of this video, let's look at how we can get the states of each element of our form. So we'll do so by going into our contactors component. So inside our contactors component, we'll have to define the states of each element in our form. So it is, we say state So having defined all these variables, we can go ahead and then create a function which will handle the onChange. So in case we have changes in our application, we'll have a function which will listen to that change on our form. So we'll create our handle. So having defined that, let's first create the constants. We have name and the value of each input element that we have defined on our form. So for us to be able to access those values, we need to define the constants, and our constants will be the name and the name and the value of each and every element on our form, which will equal to the target. Good. So having defined that, we'll go ahead and then set this dot set state, and then here we'll set the state of each element that we have, and we'll do so by saying name, which will equal to the value. This is all that we need for us to be able to access the elements of our form. So having defined that, on our input elements, we'll define the value. So good. So let's save and go back to our browser, inspect our form. Good. So if we put in here, like I put in a name, the form state is as updated of that element. And if I put in, like, you see my email has been accessed. And if I put in a phone number, a phone number state has been also accessed. So if I type in something here, we have an error on our text area will be of type. It has to have a type of text. Yeah, sorry about that, I had forgotten that. So let's go back on our form and then check our contact form. Good. So we have our content being accessed. We have so far now completed this part of getting the state of our form elements. So let's now implement our CKEditor into our form. Let's go ahead and install our plugins into our application. Copy this command in the description first. Copy paste it here in your terminal, and then just click enter, and this command will run and install this package on your application. So just copy and then run this package in your terminal. Then after that, just click enter, and this command will run and install this package on your machine. So since we have already installed that into our application, import So having defined that, we'll remove this text area element and then replace it with our CKEditor. So we say CKEditor. Instead of using this one, I say CKEditor. Good. So let's go ahead and check out our application once again. Yeah, we have application working. Add on change listener, and this on change listener will change to the will listen to the events of each input in our text area package that we are component that we are using. So for us to do so, we will have to create another function which will be handle good. So having defined that, we'll console log our data and see what we are having. Save, and let's go back into our page, and we have an error here. We haven't we haven't defined our function into our on change listener. So this will be this dot handle CKEditor state. Save, and let's go back into our page. Good, we have now. Let's inspect this page and then see what we are having here. See, when you type, we have an object which is being printed out. Okay, so having gotten the state of our CKEditor, we'll set the state of our content instead of listening to the other text area. So it will have to now to listen to this. We'll set it to this. So we'll say this dot set state, and then in here we'll pass in content, and then we'll set it to the state of data which we're receiving from this form element component. So having set that, we'll now go back to our before even we do that, let me first remove the console, and then we say name, and then email, then phone number will be that, and then if we put in a message, our message is being received. So in this video, we have so far looked at how we can embed CKEditor into a React application and also get the state of each element in React application. And also we have looked at how we can use Bootstrap in React application. And in our next video, we will see how we can submit information from CKEditor onto any API. See you in my next video. Thanks for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe, and if you like this, if this video has been helpful to you, please give me a thumbs up, and also don't forget to comment for any queries that you have concerning this video.